Julia had always been a dreamer. From the time she could remember, she had been obsessed with the idea of starting her own business. She had big plans: an online store selling custom-designed jewelry. She envisioned it as a brand that would inspire confidence and creativity, one that people would love to support. Julia's passion burned bright, and she poured her heart and soul into it. After months of designing, sourcing materials, and setting up her website, she finally launched her business. The first few days were slow, but she remained optimistic. She knew it would take time to build an audience. However, as weeks passed, the excitement she felt at first began to wane. Sales were still almost non-existent. Julia spent countless hours promoting her store on social media, sending emails, and even running paid ads. But nothing seemed to work. Frustration set in. She couldn't understand why her product, which she believed in so deeply, wasn't selling. She read books, watched countless motivational videos, and listened to podcasts. But no matter how much advice she took, the results were the same. Her business was struggling, and the weight of failure started to feel unbearable. Her friends and family tried to reassure her, but Julia couldn't shake the feeling that she had failed. She had poured everything into this dream, and it felt like it was slipping away. One evening, after staring at her empty sales page for hours, she decided to quit. She closed her laptop, overwhelmed by a sense of defeat. As she sat in silence, Julia began to reflect on her journey. For the first time, she took a step back and allowed herself to truly think about what had happened. She realized that her failure wasn't the end, it was just the beginning of something bigger. She had learned so much in the past few months. She had discovered her weaknesses, yes, but she had also discovered her strengths. Julia remembered the first time she had failed in life. Back in college, she had failed a class that was critical to her degree. At the time, it had felt like the world was ending, but she had gone on to retake the class, and not only passed but excelled in it. She had learned that failure wasn't a reflection of her worth. It was an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to try again. That night, instead of letting her failure define her, Julia decided to embrace it. She sought feedback from her customers and friends. What did they like about her designs? What could she improve? Armed with this newfound knowledge, she revamped her store, made her designs more personalized, and refocused her marketing efforts. Slowly but surely, things started to change. People began to take notice, and sales started to trickle in. Months later, Julia's business wasn't a global sensation, but it was thriving in a way she hadn't imagined. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. She had made mistakes, but each mistake had taught her something valuable. She had learned that failure wasn't something to be feared. It was simply a stepping stone on the path to success. Julia's story is a reminder that failure isn't the end. It's a part of the journey, a necessary step toward growth. Each setback is a chance to learn, to adjust, and to come back stronger. The key is to never give up, because success is rarely linear, and every failure is just a stepping stone on the road to something better.